We've had an intense couple of days with the moon in Scorpio, and today begins with the moon still in Scorpio. And then in the morning, it shifts into Sagittarius, giving us a little bit more of an ability to have that bird's eye view of what's been going on. So, to a little bit more of an opportunity to be able to see see the details, see the forest for the trees, I guess. um and have that bigger picture of what's been going on, the ability to sort of understand and put it in context and tell the story of what's been happening. And specifically with the moon going into Sagittarius, we have this opportunity to tell the new story of who we are, to tell the new story of hope, that we are actually on the path of creating what it is we want to see, and what that looks like, how we believe in it, how we have faith, how we are open to the possibilities that feel important to us. So, we're talking today about telling a new story of hope. And I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro vibe for Wednesday, September 20th. So, we've been talking about the energy of the Scorpio moon last couple of days. Been sharing in these videos how to work with that energy of feeling, of emotion, of healing, of transformation and change that's happening on the inside, that is in that realm of mystery, of energy that we can't necessarily understand or explain. And so if you're kind of wondering what's been up the last couple of days, definitely check out my videos from Monday, September 18th and Tuesday, September 19th, to get some more insight into what some of these deeper, more profound energies of healing and transformation have been all about. So now today, we again, at night and into the morning, we still have that Scorpio moon sort of finishing up what it's doing, and then the moon goes into Sagittarius. So it's like the bird taking flight, right? It's like getting ready for that journey, or that longer experience of travel, of getting outside of where you've been to get that bigger perspective, seeing beyond the boundaries of what you currently experience and understand, to get that, like when you travel to another country, people are speaking a different language, there are things happening that are just kind of outside of your everyday experience. So the Sagittarius quality, which is a fire sign, is very philosophical. So it gives us that bigger picture perspective, an ability to begin to make meaning, to understand, to put into context what we've been feeling when the moon was in Scorpio. So all planets in the zodiac are moving direct. They go from Scorpio into Sagittarius. So it's sort of a natural progression from the Scorpio energy of feeling, of mystery, of going into that place where things are very deep and profound. And then we shift into this place where we begin to get that perspective and that ability to make meaning and tell the story of where we've been, what we've been feeling, what we've been healing, what we've been working on, to have that ability to put words to it. And part of putting those words to it is telling your story in new ways. So based on what you've been feeling and healing and going through, and how you've been changing and growing and learning and transforming, who are you now? How do you do things differently? What do you believe in from this place of who you are becoming? And you might be changing in some ways and some ways you've already changed, some ways you haven't changed yet, but wherever you are at right now, you get to ask yourself, how do I tell this story? And listen to yourself as you explain to other people what you're experiencing. How are you telling the story? Because we make choices when we tell that story. We make choices about what stands out, what we make important, what we make the storyline, right? What we make the conflict, what we make the resolution, right? However we are telling that story is a choice. And it's just something to look at, to ask yourself, how am I telling this story? And that can be also, how are you telling it to yourself, right? Do you have a story of being limited? Do you have a story of, things being so dire in the world that there's no point in trying? Or, so that's an example, right? How do you want to tell that story differently? Because if you told the story as, well, here's what's happening, but here's what I'm learning, and here's what I want to see different in the world, and here's what I'm going to do about it, and here's who else might be doing that already, and here is how I can plug in, and here's who I'm becoming that allows me to do that even better. So coming back to our theme for this moon cycle, which is self-improvement, to be of service, being of service to our own lives and the world around us, being useful, being helpful, we want to be thinking about how can we participate in ways, and how can we tell a story that is of our power to participate. So it's just a reminder that we have a choice in how we talk to ourselves about it. And we have a choice in what news we get our information from, right? Where we get our information. So in other words, you can absolutely go out there and find information that validates your point of view, whatever it is. It's kind of the nature of information, right? It's all out there. It's what you choose to pay attention to. So going out there to find the information that supports a different story, that gives you the fuel that you might need to believe, to have hope, to have faith, to have, when you believe you can make a difference, how do you act differently? I mean, that's just a question, right? I don't have the answer, but how does it feel when you say, I don't think that anything I would do makes a difference anyway, so why should I bother? How does that feel versus, well, maybe I could try this, and I'm going to look and see if maybe there's a group working on that I could get involved in. How do those two things feel different, right? And that's just what I'm coming up with right now in this moment. Like, you are infinitely creative, so I believe that you can think of a story that serves you and your own path and your own journey of self-discovery in a way that could be really eye-opening and heart-opening and mind-opening, to ask yourself, who would I be? How would I be living my life if I really believed this was possible? And what do you need to believe is possible? And how is that aligned with you and who you are? Like, there are so many different ways that we can show up in the world, and it's the one that feels true and exciting and right for you that is going to be your path. And it's your path of service to the greater good. It's the same path as your path of self-discovery and growth. It's the same path as your path of opening to possibility, opening to that discovery and the vision and the imagination of the future that you want. And so even allowing yourself to imagine that is really powerful. All right, so that's today's message, I guess. Telling a new story of hope with the moon going into Sagittarius. You might have gone through some feelings in the last couple of days. Review my videos from the last couple of days for more information about where the moon has been in Scorpio and how that has been sort of supporting a deeper process of transformation and healing, and helping you along this path of being of service to the greater good. All right, thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Ormes. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com and ways on my website to schedule a reading with me, book some time to look at your own life, your own issues and situations, and I can give you insight into how to make the most of it with whatever's showing up for you. Thank you so much for being here and for subscribing to this YouTube channel, for supporting my work, and for all that you do to help yourself and take care of yourself so that you can be the best you can be. I'll be back with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.